Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Nguyen and I am the director of Paris Lash Academy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want to talk to you about something that's a little bit different. This is something that's very near and dear to my heart. Also something that I wish I was taught when I first started out doing eyelash extensions. And the subject today is mental health. Don't skip my video quite yet. You probably wonder, what the heck is she talking about? Like, what does mental health has anything to do with eyelash extensions? So, if you are a new lash artist or if you are thinking about going into doing eyelash extensions, do not skip this video. It will help you a lot through your whole entire process. And if you are a seasoned lash artist, you will probably see so much of yourself in this video that you have a good laugh. So, why is mental health important? And what does it has anything to do with eyelash extensions? As an educator, I can tell you that every 10 people that want to be a lash artist, whether self-taught or took a lash class, if they kind of sort of attempted to do lashes, every 10 people that attempted to do it, probably about 3 or 4 of them will actually come out as a lash artist and make this a career. Why? I mean, like, it's just lashes. Like, how hard could it be, you know? And when you take an esthetician school, when you go to esthetician school, get your esthetician license, or when you take a certifications, lash class and get your certification to do eyelashes, people would teach you, like how to isolate, how about humidity, about adhesive, about, volumes, weight, fans, all of that good stuff. But nobody tell you how fucking hard it is to do eyelashes, and mentally, I mean, why is it so mentally hard on people, and why so many people quit the first few months doing eyelash extensions? And I almost quit myself, when I first started out. So I'll start this video by telling you my story. I started doing eyelash extensions about 10 years ago, and I was self-taught because at that time there was not a whole lot of places that would like have training. I think the only two company would really seriously have training was like Nova Lashes and Extreme Lashes. I was broke. Like, I was broker than broke. Um, I was a college student. My husband was in military and he didn't make a lot of money. My parents were overseas. My parents, I was born and raised in Vietnam, and I came here when I was 18 years old. So my parents work at a farm in Vietnam. There was no way that they would be able to support me. They do the absolute best that they could, but there's no way that their money conversion exchange would be able to cover what I need here. So I was broker than broke, and that's okay, but I was, because I was so broke, I couldn't afford to take those classes. I sort out to be I kind of taught myself to do eyelash extensions. I like watched someone for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then I went home and I bought like a few items from eBay's at that time. I don't even think Amazon was like a big thing then. And then I would just start like putting blushes on, and they would fall off, and then I would put them back on and it would fall off, and it would burn my eyes and would burn clients' eyes. And I mean, it was a disaster. It was just horrible because nobody taught me anything different. So at that time came my eyelash Bible, my eyelash career savior. And it's a website that now, if I say it, it would probably ring a bell to a lot of seasoned lash artists. It's a website called wakeupinyourmakeup.com. And that was the only website that would have, that you could go there and then ask questions, and it would appear like kind of like a thread, and then people would come in and help answering. It was just a bunch of us was trying to figure out how this whole entire eyelash thing worked. And Europe and Asia was very ahead of us in America. Like we are so behind on everything. I tell you, like if you think you're ahead, if you think you're in America and we are ahead of the world in beauty trend, we are sorely mistaken. Like no, Europe is way ahead of us, and Asia is like way ahead of us. So a lot of people from Europe and from Asia and from all over the world would like come in and answer questions, and we were just kind of trying to help each other find out how to keep these suckers on. Like just that's it. There was no humidity understanding or cyanoacrylate or none of that. That was too fancy back then. So I would do a lot of terrible lashes. Like I'm gonna admit, like sometime now I have clients that I've had since the very beginning of my career. I often look back at the pictures of the lashes I've done, and I have the overwhelming urge of like calling them and apologize, or like tell them I'm so sorry. Oh my god, like I've done that. But I didn't know any different. So naturally, I'm a very anxious person by nature. Like I'm just very anxious. My husband would say I'm paranoid. Um, he would say that. He would say I'm paranoid. So along with the uneducated Michelle, when it comes to eyelash extensions, and then the anxious Michelle's, and then clients calling me telling me that their lashes are falling off. It's like a triple whammy. Like every day, every time that my phone's beep, ring, make any kind of noise, I would like peep my head up. I would like look at my phone, almost scared, like looking at it to see, like, oh my god, like who texted me today to cancel their appointment because their lashes all fell off? Who texted me today to like complain that their eyes hurt, or their eyes are sore, or their lashes is all like in the sink? To a point of it affect me so much mentally that it worries my husband. I'm ashamed to say that it put a strain in our marriage at that time, and thank God I didn't have kids yet. Like I hasn't had kid at that time, and thank God. I cannot even imagine being as anxious, on edge, and paranoid as I was at the very beginning of my career, and had children, because there was no way I would have been the mother that they need me to be. I wasn't even the wife that my husband needed me to be, just because I was so cranky. I was just so mad, like just anxious and mad, and just didn't understand like how this whole entire thing worked. Like I love doing extensions so much, but I don't understand enough about it. To a point that I'll tell you I did a lot of stupid stuff at the very beginning of my career. Why? Desperation. I was very desperate to make this work. I needed to financially, and I needed to because I really truly enjoy doing eyelash extensions, and I wanted to make people beautiful. And it sounds cliche to say, but that's why I started it anyway. It didn't have anything to do with money, being honest. Because being Asian, you're supposed to go to medical school, or you're supposed to go to pharmaceutical school or nursing school. If any Asian lash artists hear me, you feel me. That's what your family expects you to do, and that's what I supposed to do. But I really truly want to make people feel beautiful. That's why I went into this. So against all odds, I now really have to make a career out of this, because otherwise my god, my poor parents. So out of poor, like just pure desperation, I would do very, very stupid stuff. Like I was on the very top of that list is one time, I had, one of my clients told me that like her lashes fell off. So I went out and bought like 5, 6 different glue, because the heck, I was gonna try them all, and hopefully I'll find a miracle glue. Well, now I know there's no such things, but I didn't know that back then. So I bought like 5 or 6 glue, and I went home and I tried them all, and then I found one that was very thin, but it was drying too fast for me. And then I found one that was sticking really good to the lashes, but it was kind of gooey. So I was just like, you know what? Great idea. I'm gonna mix them together, and it's gonna be perfect. Watch. So Michelle was trying to play chemist, in my little tiny like lash room. Well, mind you, at that time in the middle of my rental kitchen. Anyway, I couldn't afford a place, so I was lashing in my kitchen, or like kitchen slash dining room. And and I was mixing adhesive, and just because I was so desperate to make it work, I I I don't even know what went through my head at that time. I know nothing about that two adhesive. I knew nothing. I didn't know any ingredient in it. I just, out of desperations, I would have to say, mixing them and hoping that they would work for me. And of course, needless to say, they all fall off the next day. Yep, that was my experiment. But like me knowing what I know now, I would never have done that. But when I looked back, I was just like, how stupid was that? Like, why was I that dumb? And I realized I'm not that dumb, but I behaved that way and I acted that way just because I was very lack of knowledge. I didn't know a whole lot about it. I'm such a people pleaser that when a single client tell me that her lashes falls off, it literally ruins my day, and I'm like desperately trying to fix it the wrong way. Might I add, and now you guys, now it's different. It's different because we have a lot more resources. We have a lot more science that have came out about eyelashes. We have a lot of free content on the internet. So if you are as broke as I were back then, you wouldn't have to resort to desperation the way that I did. You could read on the internet. You could just invest your time and read and watch videos, and ask for advices, and people would tell you. And I, for number one, would tell you never mix adhesive. Never mix any adhesive. You don't know what's in it. You don't know how it will react, and you don't know how much of this you would need, how much of that you would need. So do not ever do that. But yeah, I would just, I was a mess. Not only my eyelashes didn't look good, they wasn't lasting. And then on top of that, my communication skill was very, very poor. I literally would cry, like secretly, when people, text me and say mean things to me, like, oh, I've just spent like $200. Well, I didn't charge $200 back then, but I'm being sarcastic. And I just spent $200 at your place, and I lay there for like 4 hours, and then now all my lashes like fall off the next day, and this is BS, and I want my money back. Like, I didn't know how to deal with that type of energy, that type of negativity, and I let it took over my life. And it was very miserable for me at first. And I'm very thankful to my husband, and I'm very thankful to my parents who are very supportive of me. And my mom, watching me go through this whole entire journey, told me, honey, it is just eyelashes. And at the end of the day, you're gonna get better. The more you do it, the more you invest into learning how to do it correctly. Because I was constantly learning and asking advice from other people. You will get better. My mom kept telling me, you will get better, honey. And if you have like the worst eyelash day possible, you know, everyone is mad at you, just think of this. This is not a heart surgery. At the end, you both will make it out alive. Like, nobody will die. It's okay. I mean, if you put it into perspective, it's okay. Like, everyone will live, She may have crappy lashes, but just offer her to fix them the next day. Offer to like figure out what's going on. Come back, let me see what's going on with them, and then I'll fix them for you. Just be there for your clients and stand behind your work and be sincere about it. That will take you so far in your journey. But that was all the sort of my anxiety and what affected me mentally. I was very uneducated. I didn't know everything that I needed to do. I needed to know. I was very anxious by nature, and I'm such a people pleaser, which could be good and bad for your business. And on top of that, I didn't have the communication skills to deal with my clients. So I kind of just stuck in a very ugly place where I wanted to quit. Um, and I thought really long and hard about it, and I said, you know what? I'm not stupid. I could go to college. I could go back to college, get a degree, and, make 50, 60 grand a year or, whatever. But then I thought, and I wouldn't be happy. I really want to make this work. So this is what I did. Realizing half of my problem was because I was so new and I didn't know anything. And the new and the informations you have to accumulate like slowly. You have to read up, you have to ask questions, and now you have everything to your advantage. Most of what you need to learn is free on the internet. Educators are teaching, coaching, giving out free videos, giving out free, mappings and this and that. Or ask your fellow lash artists on Lash Group. I always say ask, ask, ask. Second, you have to practice. Think about this. So if you want to become a nurse who would make, like 60 grand a year, and then a lash extension artist would averaging probably make 60, 70 grand a year. I know lash artists that make six figures, but that's, let's just shoot it, even like 60, 70 grand a year. Okay. For a nurse to make that kind of money, she had gone to school for 2 years in college, 2 more years of nursing school, a years of practicing, volunteering, doing floor work at the hospital. 5 years for her to get there. And even and still then she struggled when she first get on the floor, because now she have to deal with real people. She have to deal with real patients who's mad at her and who's everything goes wrong in the book, right? But she makes 60, 70 grand a year after 5 years. You cannot seriously think that you're gonna take a 3 or a 4 day lash class and walk out the door and be awesome. Like, that is just not real life. Like, whoever told you that lied to your face. Okay? This is something that will take you months to get good at. And the first few months is really gonna suck. Besides owning Paris Lash Academy, I own a salon and we have 17 lash artists that work there. Every time I place a new lash artist on the floor, I mentally prepare myself and I prepare her for the road ahead of us. Because I tell her, the next 3 months really gonna suck. Why? People's gonna come back and complain that their lash falls off. People's gonna come back and complain that they get a cut on their eyes. They're gonna come back and say that their lashes lifted and it poked into their eyeballs. People's gonna come back and complain about all kind of stuff. Okay? And that is normal for everybody. Very, very rare I would see a student that I teach and they'll pick it up just like that. Like my sister Lana, I hate her. It's, things come to her so easy. Like, I'll teach her how to do eyelash extension. She'll pick up a pair of tweezers and she'll just go into town. And I'm like, the hell is wrong with you? It takes people months to get this, and that is normal. So you are using your, imagine, so this is a box of lashes. You cannot use your finger and pick, like a tiny little lashes. You have to use your tweezers to do so. But you use your fingers normally, so you would think your finger is more efficient, but now you have to learn how to use these things to pick these up, and then on top of it, make a fan, and then on top of it, apply to these like tiny little lashes. It's hard. It's hard. Give yourself a break, It's normal to cry. It's normal to, freak out and doubt yourself and all of that. But think about this. Just look at the nurse 5 years that she grind and study so hard and struggle, and think it is okay for you to struggle for 3 months. It is so normal. If you look at your very first set of eyelash extensions, your set that you do on your model, and you think, oh my god, like, I suck. Like, this suck. Everybody's first set suck. Everybody's 10th set suck. Everybody's 20 sets still suck. It takes so much practice for you to really get your hands to build the muscle memories that it needs to. Um, it takes so much practice for you to actually feel the lash wrapping. And this is not something that's going to come to you overnight. So you need to get that through your head, that you're going to have to keep practicing and trust the process. If you do one set and you think it looked like crap and you give up, here goes your career. If you do 10 set and you're like, oh, this still suck, why is this still so hard, and you give up, here's $5,000 you just spent on a lash course and all the supplies that you bought. This, you will not be halfway decent at doing lashes and isolating and comfortable isolating probably like a month on, I would say. I know lash artists that been lashing for 2 years and struggle with isolating. Isolating is hard. Making fan is hard. Applying lashes is hard. They're all hard. That's why, we are charging $200 a set. That takes us 2 hours to do. That breaks down to about like $100 an hour. What job do you know make $100 an hour after 2 days of learning? Like, that's just not real life. So get that through your head and practice. Just keep practicing, okay? And in the meantime, grow thick skin. If you are very sensitive like me, and everything that people say get to you, you need to fake it. Like, you have to fake it until you make it. What do I mean by grow thick skin? So going into this as a new lash artist, you face a lot of challenging from different people. So first, you get the people that doubt you before you even like go to your class, Like, they'll be like, oh, yeah, really? You're gonna do eyelash extension? Is that like a thing? Like, can you make money doing it? So that's like number one type. Like, I hate that type. Number two is you have these type of friends. Oh my gosh, you're gonna do eyelash extension? Can you do mine for free? That's not a friend. Like, a friend would be volunteering herself to be your model for like the full set, but when she come back for a fill, she should pay for it. By the time she come back for a fill in like 2 or 3 weeks, you pretty much know what you're doing, and you could charge her a friend's fee, to at least cover your supplies. You cannot keep giving it to her for free. The type of people that keep asking things for free, that is not your friend. That is not your supported crowd. That is not someone you want to be surrounded with. Yes? So make sure, just kind of, this is where friendship's going to go into testing. So that's, fake friends and, people that just kind of like, really? You're going to do eyelashes? Like, that's not a career. And then number 3 I want to talk to you about is, it's very sad, but it's the truth. It's the industry that we are in. We are all want to like cheer people on and say, hey, I want you to do really well. Like, really, you're going to learn how to do lashes? Coming from other lash artists. It's going to be fine. It's going to be great. Like, I want you to do great, but not greater than me. I hear that a lot. Like, and a lot of time our industry is known to be very catty. And I tell my students, don't be catty. It's okay. There are enough clients for everyone out there. You're gonna find your own crowd. You're gonna find a group of clients that will love you no matter what, that will stick with you through like hard time and good time. But you have to be patient and earn them one by one. Don't be catty with other people, but that's what we face every day as a new lash artist. Yeah, a lot of people kind of go in and and when you post a pictures up on Lash Group, along with some constructive criticism, along with some people that actually willingly, genuinely giving advice, there will be always a comment like, oh, like, really? Like, have you taken a class yet? Like, I hate it when I see comments like that. Like, have you taken a class? And and not everyone can afford to take a class, unfortunately. A lot of people are self-taught, and a lot of people are learning through trial and error. So if you can help them, great, help them. If you cannot help them and cannot give constructive criticism like nicely, just shut your mouth. Like, just shut it. Don't do it. Like, don't say mean things. Don't you remember when you first started and you suck? Like how rough it is on a person when you open your mouth and say mean things. So but we are not in control of what other people do. We are in control of our own emotions and what we do. So that's why I say fake it. Don't let other people see you vulnerable, and don't let other people see you cried or beat yourself up and stuff like that. Don't let them, unless you really love and trust those people. Don't let other lash artists in your salon, like we'll say, for example, if you first started in a new salon, and then other lash artists and just like look at your work and it's like, ugh, really? Like, don't let that get to you, because they probably got 2 years on the floor before you, and their lashes probably suck just as bad as yours or worst, when they first get started. Put in your time. You have to put in your time in order to grow. Take those criticism the most positive way that you can and say, okay, she said my isolating suck, then I'm just gonna work at it. You have to grow thick skin. You cannot let that get to you, because if you do, they win, and then you give up, and then you're gonna go do something else. And I often say doing eyelash extension is hard, but it's not that hard. Like, I mean, if you really work at it, you can get it. I haven't taught anyone that I feel like you really shouldn't do this as a living. Maybe one time I had a student that I really tell her maybe she really should consider doing this, as a career. Like, maybe this is not for her for a couple of reasons. Her eyesight was terrible, and she couldn't see the glue dot apart from like the tape and the well. Like, she missed it by 2 inches. So because of the limited that she has on her eyesight and her hands, she had like really severe hands problem, and it was really hurting for her to hold tweezers and stuff. If you don't have that kind of problem and you really want to make this a career, you can. You just have to work at it. You may have to work harder at it than some people who are unnatural at it, but it's okay. I've had people that I have students that really struggle at first, but if you keep practicing, it will come to you. It's just muscle memory. That's all it is. It's just muscle memories. Okay. And the last thing I want to talk to you about that I feel just as equally important is communications with clients. So clients sometimes could be mean. Sometimes clients could be insensitive. Sometimes clients could be just brutally just harsh, And how do we deal with it? My rule is really, really basic. If I look at a client's name in my book and it would make me dread my whole entire day, it literally make me want to call in sick, and not come in to do lashes on that day, I let her go. Why? They could be because she repeatedly no call, no show to me. It could be because she's always late. It could be because her lashes always come in like a mess, like, she didn't wash them and had all kind of junks in it, and I keep telling her and she still like, wouldn't listen to me and stuff like that. For whatever reason that may be, if you look at a person's name in your book and mentally you just dread going into work that day, you should let her go. For your own mental health. It's not healthy for you to just try to power through her appointment. For what? A fill for $60? Like, and then your whole day would be ruined. Your whole entire couple days would be ruined. And then you would think, you would dread it for 2 weeks to see her again. Why? Why would you do that? So for whatever reason that may be, and everyone's tolerance is a little bit different, yeah? So if you see her name and it dread you, and you don't want to come into work, you politely tell her, hey, at the last appointment, you tell her, hey, I really give this a lot of thought, and I don't think I'm like the right lash artist for you for whatever reason. You can fill in the blank, because I repeatedly tell you to wash your lashes, and you just keep coming in with mascara on them, and they destroying your lashes, and I just don't have enough time to put in the work that I want to, up to my standard, and whatever. So I really feel like you should find another lash artist that has more flexible schedule, and that book out a longer period of time that she could clean your lashes or whatever. Just politely tell them no, you are not a good lash artist for them, and say, and I wish you the best, and I'm, happy to tell you what you wear on your lashes and your mapping and sizes so your future lash artist can accommodate you. You don't want to fire people and be like, dude, like, do not come to my place anymore. I don't want to see you anymore. That kind of attitude will give you a 1-star review on Yelp. And no, you can't defend yourself. You can try to, but a lot of time it hurts your business when you have a bad review. So even if you fire a person, you want to fire her very professionally. You want to kill them with kindness. Is kind of like what I say. Like, this is wonderful, and I really enjoy doing your lashes, but for whatever reason, I'm not a good lash artist for you. My schedule do not accommodate yours, whatever. And I wish you the best. No, I wish you the best. It's kind of like, I don't want you anymore, go away, but like, don't come back to me kind of thing. But I wish you the best sort of thing. And most people take the hint. Most people would be like, yes, I get it, like, don't come back to you. And then because you are so nice and kind about it, they wouldn't be like, oh my god, they wouldn't be even more butthurt. And that's number one. Like, you have to let go of the client that's unhealthy for you. Number two is, how do you deal with people complaining all the time? So if you have a client that constantly complained, I want more lashes over here. I want more lashes over here. My eyes are uneven. This, that, whatnot. And it doesn't matter how hard you try to please her, you cannot please her. That's because, you should just let her go. She probably been to like 6 different lash artists. And she's probably, hated every single one of them. And she's just an unhappy person. And if she is an unhappy person, that's no longer your problem. Like, you have to let them go. Okay. How do you deal with them when they text you, or when they, you kind of have to draw a line with the whole entire, now everyone texts, right? So client would text you at like midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, say, my lashes falls off, I need an emergency fill, whatever. Turn your phone off at night. Turn it into silence at night. Set it to like have an automatic message sent out. Hey, my business hours is from like 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. and please leave me a message and I will get back to you, as soon as I can, kind of thing. Do not text people back at 3 o'clock in the morning. Do you know why they text you at 3 o'clock in the morning? Because the first time that they text you at 3 o'clock in the morning, you responded. So they're like, oh, Michelle says up really late at night, so I'm just gonna text her like at 4 a.m. It's okay. You can't do that. You got a life. Like, you have to get your 8 hours sleep. What we do, we need good sleep to do. We have to focus to do. So, draw a line between your personal life and then your business life. Like, you cannot respond to people that late at night. You cannot allow people to walk all over you. You cannot allow people to come in and get a touch-up every 4 days for free. Okay? I used to have a client that did this. She would come in, get a new set, and then the next week she would text me and she's like, Michelle, can you do a quick touch up on my right eye? And then, because I was new and I was naive and I was, easy to walk on. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. Come in, I'll do a touch up on your right eye. So she'll come in and I'll do a touch up on her right eye for like 20 minutes. And then because it was 20 minutes, so I'm like, and she was just in, so I'm like, yeah, no problem. It's okay. You don't have to pay me. It's fine. It's not a big deal because, I'm terrible like that. Like, I just feel bad, so I don't charge people. And then the week after, she would call me and then get a touch up on her other eye. And then the week after, she would call me and get another touch up on her right eye again. And then after like 3 times or 4 times, I'm like, wait, I haven't done a fill. Like, I've been doing free touch up all this time. And you may hear this and it's like, well, Michelle, that was stupid. Well, yeah, it was stupid. But because I was so nice and I just allow people to walk all over me until one point I'm like, okay, yo, listen, I'm not gonna do touch up anymore. If you want to do a touch up on one eye at a time, I'm gonna charge you hourly. It's gonna be $30 for like every half hour, and I'll touch up wherever you want me to touch up if you don't want to do a fill. And after that, I make a rule that I don't do 2 touch up in a row. So I only will do 1 touch up in between, and then the next time she'll have to do a fill. Like, you know, when you do touch up, you cannot take out like old lashes, and you cannot take out too many lashes. You just like filling in the one that's falling off, you know. So I make my rule and I stick to it. Then I realize the more I respect my time and the more I respect my skills, the more my clients respect me. So they won't call me randomly and say, hey, can you do a touch up for me? Or they won't call me at like the last minute and say, hey, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't make my appointment. I forgot my appointment or whatever that is. I give them one grace appointment, because shit happens, like life happens. But if they keep doing that, I either tell them you're gonna have to pay for your missed appointment in order to reschedule with me, or if you don't pay for your missed appointment then you cannot reschedule with me at all. I'm sorry. Like, that's just, yeah, I'm sorry. And I stick to it. And most of the time, guess what? They pay for the missed appointment so they could reschedule the appointment with me because they like how I do lashes. So bottom line is respect yourself, respect your work and your time in order for other people to respect you. Yeah? Because if you don't respect your own work and your own time, you seriously would, expect people to respect your time. That's not how it works. So yes, and I think that's about to cover what I want to talk to you about mental health. Just whatever you do, think about yourself, think about your loved one, think about why you do this for a living. Because you want to put food on your table, you want to pay for ballet lessons for your kids, and you want to, pay for your children's college, you want to pay for your wedding, you want to, make a living, not just be here and miserable. So whatever it is that in your way that make you just stay up at night and struggle, throughout this whole entire process, try to troubleshoot it, try to figure it out and not have it get to you. And remember, at the end of the day, it is just eyelashes. It is not worth your mental health. It is not worth your relationship with your loved one. And, in the meantime, trust the process. Trust that if you put in the work, your eyelash will constantly get better, will continuously to get better. And then your eyelash one day will look just like your mentor's lashes, or like that flawless lash pictures that people post on Facebook all the time. So yeah, just put in the work and you will get there. And don't beat yourself up. Don't let yourself down. Don't doubt yourself. If you doubt yourself, who do you expect to believe in you? Like, who seriously do you expect to keep telling you, oh, you can do it, and then you go like, no, I can't do it. That's not real life. You have to believe in yourself. And whatever obstacle in your way, find a way to figure that out, how to solve it. And if I could be of help anyhow, you guys have my Facebook, or message Paris Lash Academy's Facebook. I don't care if you're our customer. I don't care if you're my students or not. If I could help, let me know and I'm happy to help. I don't do lashes much anymore. This is pretty much what I do full time. And now that I've been doing lash for a while, I love to give back. And if there's anything I can help to answer questions or to help you fire a client, if you need help with that, let me know. Just let us know. If you don't let me know, I can't help. And subscribe to our channel so you can watch more video of ours. I promise you this is probably going to be one of the longest video that I make. I'll try to cut other videos down like shorter so you don't have to be here listening to me yapping for 40 minutes. If you are watching until the very end, thank you for sticking with me through this video. And I look forward to making our next week's video, which is how to properly do a lash bath for you guys. And we'll see you then. Have a great day.